You know, now I think about it, maybe this splash screen at the start isn't like, oh, this is what part of the game. It's literally just whatever room I was in when I left the game.
You know, with that in mind, you could just eternally be in jail up until you move on to the next thing.
No, I'll just keep going back to home and then I'll end the stream. But then this is a good way of reminding me because I completely forgot I was here. All I know is that we got the right to be the defender for this case, which means we can finally look at the crime scene, which we were at when it happened.
Sounds exciting.
Also, on the bright side, you have something you can do on the side that's not distracting. Explain.
Yeah. Have you heard of Doff Romantic?
Doff Romantic?
Doff Romantic.
I'm gonna say no, I haven't.
It's a puzzle game where all your pieces are hexagons and you're supposed to try and get the highest score.
I mean, you had me at puzzle game.
You might be interested.
I need to see it. Hey Troy. Yeah,
I mean, I could stream it, but I feel like it will be...
I feel like you shouldn't be doing that right now.
It'll be funny as a bit, but I feel like it's not going to work out.
Alright. So here we are, back in the investigation. Time to find out what happened. "16th April, 1:26 p.m. Windy Banks Pawnbrokery." Here we are again at the scene of the crime. Now to thrust these representation papers in Gregson's face and see what he makes of them. In case I forgot what I was here to do. "Hello again, Inspector. Do you have a minute, please?" "Why is it now? You should go home and get some rest." Good stuff.
Here you are, Gregsy. Here are the representation papers.
"Your ladyship?" Oh! I don't believe it! How the devil did you get that stubborn little ragabash to sign that? I salute you. That is good work, that is.
I can see you.
I'm not ready for that.
I can see you've been very busy here as well. How about some tea? It's a special blend designed to relieve fatigue.
I can't wait until Iris is standing next to me at the trial.
Oh no!
Oh, lovely. Well, let's see now. Yes. Yes! I hardly feel tired at all. I'm fit as a fiddle, your ladyship. Would it be alright if we investigated the scene of the crime then? Do as you please! You know where it happened? Through that door behind the counter. Yes, the storeroom. That's where I discovered Mr. Winniebank. And Gina. Right, well, I'll be getting back to business then. Will you be investigating the storeroom as well, Inspector? If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend too much time on it. But there are so many articles to go through, it's taking forever. Even with the lads working round the clock. Which is a problem, because there's another case the Yard needs to investigate urgently. That must be what Lord Strongheart meant by far more serious matters before. So what I'm saying is, don't get under my feet, sunshine. Oh, she is it.
Come then, let us not waste any time.
From the person who regularly just suplexes me for the hell of it.
Ahem.
That's a music box. Do you have them where you come from, Bruno?
Yes, but I've never seen one quite as large as this in Japan.
Oh, well, this will be a treat. Shall we have a listen? What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound?
It's a beautiful sound, yes, but it's a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the room are giving you fierce looks.
Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Greggsy to have a word.
Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard.
These shelves are where the pawnbroker puts articles that have been forfeited on display for customers to buy.
Yes, it's a really strange miscellany, isn't it? I mean, who would have buy this horse statue, for example?
Well, sometimes you can find some real treasures among all the junk, you know?
Okay, Renner.
Are you alright, Rena?
Oh, it's just... Well, it looks like a collection of useless junk as a whole, but when you pick out individual things, you can't help wishing you owned them. Even that horse statue.
That's exactly how the pawnbroker works. They're very clever.
There's the article ledger here, and Mr. Windybank's notes, and... What's this? It looks as though someone has left a little photographic print behind.
Oh, look on the back. There's some writing.
Is there? Oh, show us, Susie, show us.
15th February, 10:30 p.m. Article deposited. One gentleman's overcoat. Loan amount paid, £1. Redemption deadline, 15th April, 10:30 p.m.
A gentleman's overcoat, born for £1. Clearly, it was a very fine coat. In fact, I think...
Yes, this has been a ticket for the overcoat that Jenny redeemed yesterday.
And it's still wearing, which belonged to McGilded. I would never have expected the redemption ticket to be handwritten on the back of a photograph.
It seems Mr. Windybank just used whatever piece of paper he happened to have to hand.
But this photograph of the cat looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this exact same picture somewhere else recently.
Oh, yes, you're right. Very recently. It's the same as the one Jenny gave us earlier.
Of course! I was forgetting that she gave us that.
Well, what are you waiting for then, Mr. Naruhodo? Get it out.
Alright, let the cogs turn. Spot the difference!
Yes, they are exactly the same.
It looks like... Am I crazy, or
AI
does the one on the
generated,
right
the other
have a
one's
bigger
not.
head?
One is AI.
No, wait, no,
generated.
it's moved. Oh. Like, they're on slightly different angles. You can just look at the left ear, or the right ear, and the bush and the wood behind it. Like, it's slightly differently aligned.
I feel like it's a bit that's pushing it.
But if they wanted it to be the same picture, they'd make it the same picture.
Hee hee.
That sounded ridiculous. I've got it!
They're exactly the same. Hey, Damsung, do you have my focus yet?
So this is the guy.
No, I don't know if Damslick has it.
These two photographs had an amazing secret.
In all likelihood, it could be me that has it. A secret? What does she mean?
You must tell us, Iris. At once.
Oh,
You
sorry.
really want to know.
Yes, we need to tell you all you know about this pair of photographs. Yeah, after I'm done. Alright, thanks. The police are scouring every inch of this place by the look of it. Instructions. How do they do these guys? Instructions from the yard are to examine every piece of article on the shop and every ledger and the book of accounts. Every article? But that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely. We've been IA ever since the upwards declared a crime scene in the early hour. We're sitting through it in all ship at least, but still, we'll be working through the night, that's for sure. And even then, we'll barely have scratched the surface. A crime at a pawnbroker's. It must be every policeman's worst nightmare. It's every copper's worst nightmare, you know? A crime in a pawnbroker's. That didn't work as well as it would. I was trying to like cut out consonants every now and then, but I couldn't find good ones to do it on the fly. That ledger that's open in the counter there really is enormous, isn't it? It must be an awful lot of work to keep track of all these hundreds of items in pawn.
It's too much to think about. Better to sell it all and have a clear head, if you ask me.
But clearly Mr. Windybank was very careful when it came to the articles in his care. This is that strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things as if they're right in front of your eyes. It makes you think. When Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed it to us yesterday, we were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen. I mean, I suspected that there was going to be a murder, so take that, Ryunosuke. I'm fairly sure this contraption was here yesterday as well. Here we are, though. I'm not confident I can get it closed again.
Oh yes, that's a folding stereoscope.
Really? This is a stereoscope. Mr. Sholmes showed us a picture yesterday that you were supposed to be able to see in 3 dimensions. But for that, he used the great big contraption over there. Imagine it, I would never do it, but I'm just imagining a version of myself that accidentally finds themselves saying, like, that word in, like, regular conversation.
I'm just accidentally just making it very, very, very drawn out. And then realizing, I'm not streaming right now.
And then the person playing was like, you've played 428 Shibuya Scramble as well, a man of culture.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
Oh well, that's for our use in public houses and places like that. It contains a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. But this little thing is a much simpler design for use at home. There are special shops selling prints you can use in them. I have a little collection myself.
I wonder if I could make money out of these in Japan. It would be keeping my toilet sparkling clean anyway. This officer has been staring intently at the wall since before we came in here. It's almost like they couldn't be bothered making him do things. Too much work. Shh! Keep it down! Oh, sorry. There's a major clue, yes, here.
Really? Then we must tell Graxy at once.
But as soon as I report it, that'll be it. I'll be stuck here even longer. Stuck here? What do you mean? I haven't come home in 2 days already. I need another constable to relieve me and take over me shift. Yeah, they really have a tough time, the British police.
That doesn't stop us investigating, though, does it?
No, I suppose not. I'm fairly sure it was the calendar he was peering at. Well, wait, the calendar hung itself. He's a Bright Eyes fan. Ah, look here.
Oh yes, a bullet hole, and I can see the bullet is still lodged in the wall.
I guess someone really wanted to kill time. Presumably, Mr. Windybank wasn't practicing with his revolver in his spare time.
Oh, well. Mr. Sholmes likes to practice in his drawing room whenever he can. He's very patriotic like that.
Sorry?
It's all there in the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, you know.
Oh, also, I apologize if you can hear me pressing A. I'm not using my usual controller at the moment.
I can't hear anything,
Oh,
don't you
thank
worry.
Christ.
Isn't that right, Iris?
Ah, did I write something like that? Partly in jest, perhaps.
In jest?
Yeah, like eating.
Well, he doesn't do it often. It's quite a dangerous pastime.
He doesn't do it often. He shouldn't even do it once.
Forget that for now, Runo. Let's examine the bullet.
Way to change the conversation.
What's that around the bullet hole? Is it blood? Suspicious red stain on the calendar.
Aha! I may well be able to help with that.
What?
There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is there, Runo?
I have a feeling I'm not as bloody-minded as you, Iris.
I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold.
There you have it, you see. When it comes to blood, we're all different types.
Yes, what a scientific observation.
So you need this.
Oh no. What is that scary looking thing?
Purdy and I haven't actually come up with a name for it yet. But as soon as you see it in action, you understand what it does. Watch.
Maybe you shouldn't do this at a crime scene. Oh! The color of the bloodstain has changed.
There! Does it make sense now?
So you're the person who gets to all the Danganronpa crime scenes straight away and changes the pink. Yes. I think I'm starting to understand.
Good! It works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see.
Okay, so we're gonna do this in the trial.
Don't call out the game like that, Jesus.
I'm just
Yes, so wonderful.
I'm just saying they're setting something up.
The chemical it dyes combines with the blood and makes it change color. So you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at in the flash.
Or alternatively, it's like they want to have modern sort of detective things, but they set it back when they don't have this sort of forensics, so they have to do this instead, which is cute.
Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris.
Isn't it? Isn't it? I bet Jenny would say it's bleeding great.
So whose blood are we looking at then?
Have to find out, I guess.
Well, all the chemical does is turn the blood a different color, so... Just find someone whose blood turns the same color and you know who it belongs to in the flesh.
How many colours are there?
An unrealistic amount. Let's go with that.
It's more like 2 flashes, really, isn't it?
One flash or 2, this could well turn out to be a very valuable clue.
I don't think
She
this would
rhymed.
hold up in court. But then again, it's Ace Attorney.
So we must make a note of it in the court record.
Also, I did check at the end of last stream. You were voicing Gina the first time around.
Shit.
No, I like doing it. It's fun. She's one of my
Okay,
favorite
great.
characters to voice.
Wonderful. That's perfect. Let's keep testing and adding the results of any other blood analysis to the portfolio.
As long as I have reagent left, sure.
Oh, we have a limited number of users? That's not fun.
Green blood. It just seems wrong somehow. Somehow.
Oh, there are all sorts of different colors. There are pretty pinks and purples too, you know.
Of course there are!
Like I said, everyone's blood is different.
I wonder what colour my blood would turn out. Actually, I don't want to know. So Iris, about these 2 photographic prints. The one found here on Mr. Windybank's counter, and the one Gina gave us before. What is this amazing secret you mentioned that's hidden between these 2 identical prints?
Actually, that's not quite right.
Sorry?
If you look carefully, the 2 prints aren't the same, not exactly.
What?!
Have another look at them now. Can you see that they're just slightly different from each other?
God dang it.
Oh, also the tail on the right is like, there's a smaller gap there to the snowman.
Well, what's the difference for the subtle differences? What's the reason for the subtle difference between the 2 prints?
Oh well, it's because they're set, you see.
No, I don't.
This pair of photographs is meant to be used in a stereoscope. Everyone in London is raving about them at the moment.
Ah, a stereoscope. What do I feel as I've heard that word recently before? Oh gee, I wonder! It's always like I did these out of the intended order.
Oh, yes, that's what Mr. Sholmes showed us yesterday. You see, there it is, just over there.
Oh yes, of
course, that magical machine that makes pictures look almost real enough to touch.
Well, actually, it's quite possible to see the same depth in pictures even without one of these contraptions.
What? Really?
Do you know how a pair of flat photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, wonderful! Then I'll be able to tell you.
User of the moon. Bless her. Should we let her explain though? You really need to carry on investigating the scene.
I, for one, simply have to know.
What was I thinking just before?
Have you ever considered, Runo? How our eyes see depth in the world around us?
Well, I just open them and it works.
But the reason it works is because we have two eyes.
Shocking.
2 eyes, shocking.
If you try closing one eye at a time, I think you'll see straight away. What you see of your left eye,
Flashing like
and what you
that
see
is not a good way to illustrate it.
with your right eye.
Yeah, I've played Barney, I think.
Are ever so slightly different. You get a different view with each eye.
Yes, the position of objects seems to shift slightly.
Exactly. And in your head, your brain uses that shift to estimate depth as it merges the two views into one.
That was my favorite thing to do when I was a kid. Like when I was like 5, it's like just swap eyes and watch how some things shift way more than others.
Just casually swap eyes, yeah.
And the other bonus one was you have sunglasses and you have them, you half wear them, and then like you look at things through them, and the I think it's refraction, like it makes them look weird.
Brilliant.
I had a whale of a time with that.
That's how we can sense depth in everything we see.
My brain really is amazing, isn't it? It does so much without telling me.
Ah, I think I see. So the pair of photographs saved. Consist of a left eye view and a right eye view. Is that right?
Oh, well done, Susie. You're so quick.
So if you can persuade your brain to merge the two pictures together in your head, you'll be able to see depth in these prints.
Yes, Bruno, you're beginning to understand.
And a stereoscope's function is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that. Question mark.
Yes, but as long as you have two images, two eyes, and one brain, you can actually do it yourself without needing a stereoscope at all.
You can?
Really?
Let's try it. Let's see if we can view this pair of prints without the help of a stereoscope.
She's over the moon. Oh yes, I'm dying to have a go.
Susanna's son really loves this kind of thing.
You need to be able to cross your eyes. That's the main thing. Can you do that?
Nope. Cross my eyes. I think I can.
Watch me and see if you can copy. Make your eyes do this.
Wait, I'll give it a go. It's not gonna work, but I don't think I did.
You did it.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, sick! I gotta watch that back. I've never been able to see myself do it.
Are you ready, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh my god, this is so derpy and I love it. This is so fucking derpy. There, how's that?
Wonderful. Now it's your turn, Runa.
I hope the camera does something funky here.
The trick is to concentrate on looking at the bridge of your nose with both eyes at the same time.
Not exactly an easy task when people are staring at you cross-eyed.
Oh.
Alright, that's enough practice. Now let's try looking at the prints. Start by staring at one print and slowly crossing your eyes. You should see two overlapping images, like this. You can try it now, Runa.
I'm just gonna have to give it a try, I suppose.
Did the print split into two images for you? Now, the next step. Is to put the pair of prints side by side like this, and then try crossing your eyes again. The print should slowly merge together until...
I just tried doing that, but I cannot get them that close.
they form a new single image in the center.
Oh, yes! Mr. Naruhodo, it works! I can see it in the middle now!
They're really pogging over on this cat photo.
It looks so real. Oh, I could look at it all day.
I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt.
Your turn, Runa. Pretend you're looking through the two pictures and slowly cross your eyes. Keep adjusting the position of your eyes until the two images overlap exactly in the middle.
Like this, is it?
There, you managed it. So now you know how stereoscopic images work.
Well, I don't know who discovered it, but it really is quite extraordinary.
So what do you think of these stereoscopic prints then, Runa?
They're certainly amazing. It is easy to get the knack of viewing them properly.
No, some people find it easier than others. But that's why contraptions like this exist, for people who find it tricky.
Oh, I recognize that. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we? If I remember correctly, you press this little knob here. Then set the pair of photographs at the stand at the back and...
Oh, sorry. It's still amazing, even though I know roughly how it works now.
Well, London seems to agree with you. Stereoscopes are very popular at the moment. You can find one of these folding contraptions in lots of households in the capital currently.
But if these little machines are so affordable, surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them.
But it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect of your own eyes. Well, I think so in any case.
Stereoscopic pictures. I'd never even heard of them until yesterday. I've certainly learned a lot about them, but I wonder if it's knowledge that I'll ever actually need.
Sounds like school all over again.
Second white cat photographs of Venus Decor. That was a long ass explanation for how that works. Oh my god. Oh, let's need more. I'm not clicking on it. I can't deal with this conversation anymore. I was wondering if like this investigation was going to take the whole stream, but then the way that went, maybe.
Yep.
Meow.
Behind that door it's the storeroom, isn't it? It's what Grancy said.
Yes, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. Through the little window in the door. Mr. Windybank, face down on the floor. Gina beside him.
As the accused legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruhodo. We must make a thorough investigation.
Yes, of course. And we will! Behind that door. That's the real scene of the crime.
Don't worry, if there are clues in there, I'll find them.
Poor Mr. Windybank. Thank you for the insight. "16th April, Windybank storeroom." Hi, Iris. She's clammed up completely.
Iris is bound to find this difficult. After all, Mr. Windybank's life was taken in this very room only last night.
Oh!
Wait! Inspector!
What is it now, sunshine?
You took one look at me and tried to run away.
You think a Scotland Yard investigator would run away from some jumped up little fence lady?
In that respect, you're right. I'm a coward.
Well, I've never seen her ladyship looking like that before is the thing. I didn't know what to say to her.
So you weren't running away from me. You're running away from a 10-year-old.
That makes it even worse, doesn't it? I'm afraid this is a little much for young Iris. Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector.
Huh? Ahem. Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you?
Oh god.
I don't think that went very well.
Why? Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, sunshine, and I told you not to get under my feet.
And we have investigating to do ourselves.
Yes. I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept inspector has to say.
Oh, Hurley.
And inquire into how Mr. Sholmes' operation is going. Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them.
I can't believe how many there are.
Bicycle, a gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings. Look.
Pieces of different people's lives quietly gathering dust in here together. There's something very peaceful about the atmosphere in here. Or at least there would be if not for the chalk outline on the floor and the policemen jumping about.
Not much else to do about that, sunshine.
Good attempt.
I mean, if it's supposed to sound bad. Out of all the articles in the story, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked.
Ah!
What is it, Iris?
That's the box file that my manuscript has been kept in.
Oh,
Iris's unpublished story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Surely that's not what all this... I'm sorry. Sorry, Gina. You asked me. He's ordered. Without telling you. I need to get back in the swing of that.
we must check inside the box at once.
Yes.
Ah!
It was there. Iris's story was there.
Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris?
Yes. I mean, of course I believed Hurley when he said he had deposited it here, but still. It's a relief to actually see it.
Really? because it's not a very well hidden frown. This manuscript has been entered as a court record. This is a revolver. A real one.
And quite possibly the murder weapon used to take Mr. Windybank's life.
What's the matter, Susie? You and Bruno look like you might faint.
Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh.
And I've had issues with guns in the past. But anyway, we saw Mr. Windyback with this yesterday, didn't we? Oh, what did I do with this? I shall have to take my own life! Is that it? No, I don't remember. It must be the same gun. Last night, when I looked through the spy on the door to the storeroom here, it was the same gun I saw in Gina's hands. What if with innocent people and holding guns in this
And Mr.
context?
Windybank told us that he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? For red herrings, Zach, red herrings.
Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in his gun has been fired.
So we can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from this revolver. Oh, good luck solving crimes. Hey, Ducky. I have to ask, Ducky, have you won an F-099 yet?
Poor Mr. Windybank. He was a nice old man.
Well, he was shot just once, through the heart, and you're too late. Most likely the fella died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing. I said, have you ever won in F-099 yet?
This must be his blood then.
Or is it?
Ah!
Time to test it. I don't like to ask at such a wretched time, Iris, but I wonder if perhaps... Yes, the answer is yes.
You've only won with the...
Super.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
You've only won with the Boston tutorials. Same! The best I've managed in reality is 5th. I don't remember the first time I finished 5th, but I finished 5th in the final race of a Grand Prix, which I feel like doesn't count because I was only against 19 other players. And I did also just kind of get a Skyway near the end that sailed me away from nearly losing to 5th place. I don't know how you're supposed to win. I've been in 1st at the end of the 3rd lap, and I was like, oh my god, but then I forgot there was another lap. That was a really... I just changed that, that was really dumb.
So now we know the color the chemical turns when it reacts with Mr. Windybank's blood.
It feels very random. Yes, I would say my experience with F-099 is if you get the lead too early, you'll just slowly fall behind the pack. If you're behind the pack, you'll never catch up. It's what we call a catch-22 in that it's possible to finish better than 22nd.
And it
Doesn't match our analysis of the bloodstain we found in the main shop.
No, but let's add the sample to the others we have already collected anyway.
Like, is this my like revenge? Because I've won in Tetris 99 like 10 times today, but the F099 wins elude me forever. Blood sample for yeah, that's fine. Iris. Also, like, I always want to blame my car, but then I never am the fastest person in my particular car.
Wait, this is a game, right? Wait, Tetris has a car game?
No, you know F-Zero, the Nintendo racing game?
No, I do not. Okay, that makes more sense.
It's the game that
Wait,
Captain
why are you
Falcon
talking
comes
about
from.
a car?
What?
I was wondering why you're talking about a car. Why is there a car involved in Tetris?
It's what if Tetris 99 was a racing game? And the answer
No.
is very difficult.
But we must find the true culprit.
There's nothing funnier as well as when you take off at the start of the race, you go up the jump, and then like everyone immediately uses their spin attack at the same time.
Yes, absolutely.
And then everyone
Since Zaki
immediately
agrees.
uses their first boost at the same time. Like, it's a fun game. I'm just not very good at it at all. Wait, did I look at that bike? No. So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here?
Sure! You got eyes, haven't you? Use them! It is what it looks like, though. Nothing more, nothing less.
Iris, could you lend me a hand?
So, Gregsy, what do you make of the crime scene here?
Oh, yes. Your ladyship, do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, and shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. What'd you say?
The man's a simp.
Oh, yes. I feel that was established last week, but I forgot.
I know.
The one and only door to this storeroom was found and locked from the inside.
So, it was locked from the inside. Apparently, the door was locked from the inside.
The lock appears to be broken now, though. What's that the police officer's doing?
Quite right, ma'am. Quite right. We took the liberty of smashing the door in as humbly as possible.
Oh,
As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor, thuswise. And next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutter child.
Are you talking about Ginny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector.
Miss Lestrade. The hapless girl was curled on the floor, dead to the world. She's still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious. And I'm afraid to say she had the gun that was used in her hand.
No!
Presumably.
imagine being framed in an Ace Attorney game.
Imagine. Presumably it's the gun that's still down there on the floor now. It's like, it's just like clockwork. Oh, a crime's happened. Can't wait to find out who conveniently looks incredibly suspicious. Oh, you freed them? Well, that just opens the possibility for this new way that they did it. Like, I'm kind of admire the way they write them like sometimes. It's insane how hard they push.
In her pocket, we found the key to the door as well.
What? The key to the story?
Keys to the castle.
Keys to the kingdom.
You say the storeroom had been locked from the inside, Inspector.
Correct. All of which leaves her ladyship's friend something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid.
You're British, you can say sticky wicket.
Obviously, my personal opinion is that all summer sort of misunderstand.
Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is.
Yeah, Inspector, it better be.
Rexy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright? Is he?
I legitimately forgot when they first said his operation that he was in the hospital. I thought it was like his own investigation.
Well, the thing is,
Don't mince your words, Inspector, please. You don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is...
no, the operation's done and dusted. It's just that,
Out with it!
This could have been one dialogue box.
yes, ma'am.
This could have been one dialogue box.
They use something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing. Renders the whole body insensitive.
The whole body? Anesthetized? Is that even possible? I can't believe I said that word.
It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep.
Goodness, in the Empire of Japan, we can just manage to provide laughing gas for a tooth extraction.
The trouble is, the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you follow my meaning. They couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for him to nod off, or so I hear. And now the op's finished, they can't get him to wake up, apparently.
Well done.
Oh my!
Maybe he should be called Sherlock Combs.
No one knows
No
if it's
one-
just the anesthetic, or it's still in his system, or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch until he comes round again.
Hurley.
The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you.
What a surprise. Even in matters of life or death, Mr. Sholmes has to do things his way.
Is that what I think it is? Your ladyship's latest?
Yes, my latest story. It's called The Hound of the Baskervilles.
A most fascinating title, your ladyship. Fascinating. And I don't suppose... Would there be any mention of my humble self in the tale this time?
Good question. I can't really remember.
Oh, I see. Well, why would you, your ladyship? I'll just await its publication with eager anticipation.
You didn't worry, Inspector. I'm sure if you do appear, you won't be doing anything particularly remarkable.
You looking to be arrested, Sunshine?
I didn't mean it like that. And even if I did, you wouldn't have bitten her ladyship's head off, would you? Inspector Gregson, could you give me your opinion about this, do you think?
We don't tend to share, Sunshine, not with the general public. Ugh.
In that case, Grexy, how about some herbal tea?
Is that like bribery?
I mean, it's bribery to look at evidence.
Oh, lovely. Tar, very much. That hit the spot, your ladyship.
You don't mind sharing it then? Inspector, what do you make of this?
Oh, what have we here then? A redemption ticket for an article deposit here, is it? Looks like someone ran out of office stationery and wrote the ticket on whatever paper was at hand. Yes, this is the ticket for Mr. McGilded's overcoat. The one that little diver turned up with yesterday.
Oh, actually, no, it's not.
Really? Think you know better than me, do you?
No, I didn't mean to,
Bruno's right, Gregsy. It is in the same ticket.
Of course it is. Of course it is. I never doubted you, your ladyship. So what's this all about then? If I might be so bold as to ask?
This is a second ticket.
A second one? It seems that Mr. McGilded had in fact another article of storage here at Windybanks. Is that right?
I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, Mr. Naruhodo.
oh good, because he's ever so easy to talk to. This ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilded's overcoat.
You mean to tell me?
Yes, there was more than just the music box disc, it seems. How could you possibly pick up the disc and not notice there's a piece of paper attached to it?
I should have insisted on the lads taking it back to the yard and examining it properly.
Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGilded deposited another article here with Mr. Windybank.
Yes, I can see it written here. A small box, was it?
Do you have any idea where it is, Gregsy? Any idea at all? It's another article belonging to Mr. McGilded. It could be an important clue.
Well, yes, I suppose it could be. Please, stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes full of hope and expectation. It's too much pressure. I'll lose me marbles, I will. I'll go barking.
This is no time for dog impressions, Inspector.
That's enough sauce from you, Sunshine. There is one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption deadline's already passed, hasn't it?
Oh yes, of course. Articles are only held for 2 months.
So the small box will no longer be in there then.
That's right. It's been forfeited.
Which means it could be on the shelves in front of the shop where the forfeited items are offered for sale.
Yes, the shelves in the front. We must search them at once.
That's you.
Oh, sorry.
You're wasting your time.
Oh,
There are dozens of little boxes out there. Hundreds even. We can't possibly know which one might have been McGilded's. That information's not written in the ledger. Ugh.
Well, I think we should at least have a look in case.
Of course, your ladyship, of course. They're very sensible of you, I'm sure.
This is getting old.
yep.
Is there anything else to look at? Maybe we need to just show him more things.
Oh, my manuscript.
Mr. Sherm said he deposited Windy Banks that he had. And he had.
But it's so strange. What is it about this particular story that works so hard on it? Why would Harley say I can't publish it?
I'm afraid I have no idea. All you can do is wait until he's ready to tell you, I suppose.
Oh, maybe. It's because Harley isn't in it enough. Maybe I didn't give him enough good lines.
Yes, maybe. I wish I could say that definitely isn't the reason, but I can't. The way you can identify differences in people's bloods like this is amazing. You really are a genius, Cyrus.
I know, I am. If Hurley and I put our minds to it, we could really shake up Britain's chemists and alchemists.
And you could shake up Japan's lawyers and judges, couldn't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, for sure, even if I didn't intend to. Oh, I missed something.
Yes, this is where all the items that have been forfeited by the original owners have been offered for sale.
That's right. We've all got little price labels on them, but there's so many.
The small box this ticket was for is still on the shelves somewhere. The box that McGilded deposited here just over 2 months ago.
Even if it were finding it promises to be very troublesome indeed.
There's so many boxes. It could be any one of them.
Mr. Sherm said the pawnbrokers was the safest place to store anything, more secure than a bank vault. So perhaps this small box of Mr. McGilded contains something of very great value.
Well, if that's the case, you'd probably have kept it locked.
So then, we need to find every box with a lock and break them all open. It was a hiya.
That sort of misconduct could get you arrested. I won't let that happen.
This takes me back. It's been some time since the sun has last through me. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Do you mind if I shoot you this, Iris? It's just a boring old thing, really, but...
Oh, I don't really like boring
Oh,
things.
you've done this before. Sorry.
Poor Ginny. This is all my fault, really. But she'll be alright tomorrow, won't she? In court tomorrow, I mean.
I'll defend her with everything I've got.
So, she'll be alright.
Am I is that bad at instilling confidence?
Probably. Do better, Mr. Naruhodo.
There must be more here.
Do we need to head back to the jail cell, maybe?
Was that even on the list of places I could go? Or did I miss it? Oh! Maybe try it. Yeah, okay.
There we go.
16th April, local prison, cell 13. Gina doesn't appear to be here.
I believe she must be in questioning at the moment.
Oh, but wait a minute.
What is it, Iris?
Well, if you examine the scene here carefully, there's another possibility, isn't there? Ginny could have slipped the key from the jailer when he wasn't looking to escape.
Oh my.
Why would she do something like that? It would only make her situation worse.
Calm down, Runa. I was only joking, of course.
Oh. Ugh, you had me worried there. I thought it was a great deduction.
Yes, it must be your way of words, Iris. You're so wonderfully persuasive. Perhaps you don't fully understand the weight your words carry.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. I suppose a light-hearted great detective's contradiction in terms.
Well, in the same situation, I'm sure Mr. Sholmes would have just thrown his head back and guffawed.
I'm not entirely sure that's helpful, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, anyway, it looks like we won't be able to talk to Gina for a while. We should try to make progress with our investigation in the meantime. Okay, maybe we weren't supposed to go here.
Oh, come along then, Runa. Come along, Susie.
Let's try the hospital. Let's try the justice. Try them all. Or maybe we just go back to the crime scene and now something's happened. Feel like decent, this ain't it. Unless they want get something in here. Which they don't. It's an unusual way to make use of a huge metal chest. There's a table for tea and coffee. But it's a very sturdy box, and I've noticed it's always locked. Wait, have we? No, we haven't.
Oh well, that's because... that box contains some of my most important things.
Which you have no intention of telling me more about, judging by that guarded smile. The fire's burning comfortably in the grate again today. It's a very different feeling to a Japanese hibachi somehow.
Harley's been working on his disguises recently. He's been dressing as a woman, actually.
Really? Mr. Sholmes dresses in women's clothes?
Yes, you see the lady in the photographic print on the mantelpiece? That's Harley.
He's quite stunning.
We don't really get to judge because we can't see it clearly.
No, it's just... These are all mementos of Mr. Sholmes' past cases, I think. He'd been involved in my case. I wonder if the beefsteak from La Carnival would be on display here.
Harley says that Waggy's a memento too.
What? How?
He tried really hard to get the little fellow to stay on the shelves at first. But he had to give up in the end. Waggy just wouldn't keep still.
Surely he'd be the only thing that would stay on the shelf. Yes, funny that. Your beautiful tea set is there on the table as usual. A cup of one of your special herbal blends always helps me relax when I'm feeling the strain.
Poor Harley, he hasn't had a drop of tea today. Wish I could take some to the hospital for him.
This is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? Let's see, what does it say today? Ah, the Boscombe Valley Mystery.
We visited Boscombe Valley recently for a picnic, you know. But I forgot to bring the tea. So when Harley became thirsty, he decided to drink from Boscombe Pool. And he gave himself an awful tummy ache.
Genius.
Oh, dear.
Harley sat there miserable as can be, and then feel the flowers after that, just like what you saw him yesterday.
It really is an unsavory tale. That's a charming little white shelf, and full of charming little boxes too. But the contents of them aren't quite so charming, it seems.
I'm so close now. I've nearly developed some rainbow smoke grenade, you know.
So you're still working on those colourful but fuming explosives, are you?
I tell you what, when I've perfected it, I'll fire the first shot at you, Runa.
Why is everyone trying to hurt Runo?
What an honour. He does carry around a sword, to be fair. Wait, does he? Or is it the other guy? Come to think of it, I haven't seen you doing much writing recently, Iris. But there's paper already set up in the typewriter, I notice, as if you're about to start.
I'm a little bit stuck for a new story idea, actually.
Well, you could consider using what happened to Mr. Natsume, perhaps.
Oh yes, that's a fabulous idea. And a great title has just popped into my head as well. The Adventure of the Catty Man. How's that, Runa?
Starting to question if she was the one who wrote all the books.
I mean, obviously, that's what we've been told. Look at Mr. Sholmes' desk. It's completely clear. It looks totally different without that enormous machine on it.
Pearlie lives in an absolute mess all the time. He never notices when things go missing.
Even Mr. Sholmes must have noticed that huge lump of metal is no longer there. Surely. There's all sorts on these shelves. Chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, I can't help feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment.
Yes, Pearlie does tend to overload the shelves.
That's one way of putting it.
You wanted to look something up in one of those books the other day, you know? But it was so tightly crammed in, he gave up and went out to buy a new copy instead.
Now this really is Mr. Sholmes' faithful performing partner then. The Scrapiferis. No, it's no good. Oh, this reminds me, I was doing a game of Jeopardy last night and I missed a $5,000 tally double because I thought it had to be Stradivarius, but it was something else. You tell me I have to remember a second Italian violin, maestro. The virtuoso violin that he found at a pawnbroker's and managed to buy for next to nothing. I would have won the game too if I'd just bet nothing on the value. It was sad.
I hope Pearlie gets well soon. I missed hearing the violin already.
Oh, Iris. I'm sure he will. I don't know what I'm doing. There's still a Scotland Yard carriage outside Windybanks.
I never imagined we'd be investigating a case so close to home.
Poor Iris. She's very upset by all this. I'm sorry. I was there. I should have done more.
None of this is your fault, Bruno, so please don't apologize.
But
It's the criminals who are to blame for this, so let's investigate and work out how to catch them.
yes, you're right. It's already been 2 months that we've been taking lodgings here above Mr. Sholmes' office. I still can't quite believe it. I never expected things would turn out like this.
When Hattie comes back home, let's have a big party.
That's a great idea. I'm sure it won't be long. Mr. Sholmes is very tough.
Yes!
Nothing yet. Ah, the Durum Midsummer I brought with me from home, still with only one eye coloured in. I said I'd colour the other eye once I won my first court case here in Britain, but...
That's cruel, only letting it have one eye.
Yes, but it's because I don't consider myself a good enough lawyer yet, you see. Once I become a fully fledged lawyer, Miss Cesaro will colour in the other eye for me.
Well, in that case, why not color in the other eye now? And then every time you win a new case, give it an extra eye.
That's cursed.
You never had too many eyes, you know.
Call me crazy, but I'd never consider. Okay, I'm genuinely at a loss. I don't know where to go. Does anyone know where I should be going?
Do you have evidence that you can present to anyone?
I tried all of it. I guess I technically
Maybe-
haven't presented my badge.
Did we check the jail cell and like...
It doesn't let you do anything in the jail.
So you can't actually observe anything inside the jail cell?
No, nothing. Oh, maybe I have to look at the evidence or some shit. That's what I have.
Maybe. You like turn them around and see if they net anything.
Yeah, The Hound of the Baskervilles. How does this artist know the exact title of this unpublished story? The morphogenetic field. I suppose I'll just have to wait until she's ready to explain it to me.
I'm so sorry.
Whoops, wrong voice.
I don't think there's anything we've seen there. We both have that. I gotta work out. So that's the one that's how close there. No, it's the same photo. What the? Isn't it? So this is the second of the two photographic prints of the cat, and it really does look like Wugga High. It looks exactly the same as the first photograph at first glance. I suppose that's what's so compelling. Actually, now we have both pictures. I could have another go at viewing them as a stereoscopic image. Oh no. So, I need to cross my eyes and try to get the two cats to merge in the middle as one. It's such a hard thing to do. Whoever thought of this in the first place must have spent a long time staring. Oh. Wait, this is the ticket that Gina brought in here yesterday.
Yes, having been entrusted to her by Mr. McGilder 2 months earlier. Article deposited, 1 gentleman's overcoat.
And the other redemption ticket was in the pocket of that coat.
Yes, for a small box deposited 2 days before the omnibus incident.
Did that have anything to do with all this? I'm gonna like remark how it's the same. What if it's not his blood? Is there a save? Like,
I'm just wondering if the game is bugged at this point.
or no, it's like probably something dumb like there's a thing that's ticked except I have to use like, I don't know, maybe I have to put the photos in the machine. I don't know why, but... Or, you know, alternatively there's just a thing that I didn't see because it's happened before.
Hmm.
Police are scouring every inch of the place by the look of it.
Instructions from the yard are to examine every article in the shop and every ledger and a book of accounts.
Every article? But that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely. It's not letting me skip this text.
We're sifting through it and shifting at least, but still, we'll be working through the night, that's for sure, and even then we'll barely have scratched the surface.
Crime and pawnbrokers. It must be every policeman's worst nightmare.
It's every copy's worst nightmare, you know, crime and pawn.
Yeah, like, I thought I heard that text, but... Did I hear it from him? So I need to be in the same room as him. Did I not do this? No, I didn't. Did I show it to him though? I did. So much for ending this stream early.
Sorry?
So much for ending this stream early.
Yeah, we can't even find progression apparently.
This is where I look it up. Sounds like a pain to do.
Which part is this?
It is... Investigation Part 4. If you want to have a look. Of Episode 5.
Episode 5?
Yeah. Things to click on.
Episode 5, Part 4.
Yeah. Investigation. Or maybe it's the bloodstain here. Mr. Naruhodo. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's something rather troubling here. I've noticed.
Oh.
It might be it.
Mm,
Yeah, I think this might be it.
so,
Keep
is
going.
that the one?
Yeah, just read
The
this.
red smear, you mean?
Yes, it looks like blood, doesn't it? I wonder if Cesar's hadn't picked up on that. Well, in that case,
Yes, we need Iris.
we should show this to her before we forget. Okay. Is it one of the other one? I couldn't remember. No, not really. Okay, cool. That's lucky.
Oh, that looks like blood. Time to test it.
I would say it's from a glove finger. Almost certainly a glove made of leather.
Well, don't worry, Runa. You can leave the rest to me.
Look at that.
Yes, that's a color we haven't seen before, is it?
We simply must add it to the portfolio of blood samples. It could be an important clue. Although it would be nice to find out whose blood these different colors correspond to at some point.
Well, this particular stain of blood.
Oh, you've had an idea, haven't you?
Gosh, where did I get this? I'm not sure I do, but... Yes, I have an idea whose blood it is. Not from the colour it's in, but with a little deduction.
That's right. I think it's clear.
Is it?
It's someone who wears gloves, I guess.
Iris, you know as well?
You first, Runa. Who do you think it belongs to?
Alright, I believe that this is the blood of... Who wears gloves? Well, it's not Windy Bank. It could be McGilded.
Mr. McGilded?
Yes, after all, his redemption ticket belonged to him.
Oh, you don't think? You mean that during the incident on the omnibus?
Yes, I expect so. It's a very clear print and no small amount of blood, so it must have resulted from a fairly serious accident, such as he may have sustained from the omnibus.
Wait, but if I remember rightly, no sign of injury was found on Mr. McGilded at all.
Oh, then it's thrice fired. Oh.
We're trying to work out who the blood came from. So we can rule out anyone who hasn't been bleeding straight away.
Look, it's been like 8 months since I did this case. Yes, I suppose we can think this through for more. Who do we hit? It's bleeding at the time. Thrice fired Mason?
You don't sound very sure of yourself the way you trailed off there.
That's
Well-
because it's been 8 months.
Yeah, it was 8 months ago, that case. And of course, I'd never met the victim, so I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely thrice fired, though.
The victim of the omnibus case. Yes, his name was indeed Thrice Fired Mason. But that wouldn't mean that this blood stain was left on the ticket 2 months ago.
Yes, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket here to Windy Banks yesterday. I'm suggesting the bloodstain was already on it at that time.
So this
So it's a smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago.
something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilder's also wearing leather gloves that night. Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
It certainly does look like a leather glove thumbprint, this mark. We know that McGilded has no injuries at the time anywhere on his body, from which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason.
Listen, Naruhodo, you sound just like Mr. Sholmes. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing.
Minus the quirky slip-ups, I hope.
Yes, I think you're right, Runa.
Very well. Let's make a note of this.
Ding
Ah!
bong, ding bong.
Nearly jumped out of my skin there. How could Mr. Windybank set such a wicked trap?
I doubt he set it to scare anyone.
Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon.
Oh?
Her trial is tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you will be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. She may have changed her mind.
Don't you remember, Runa? You told her she could rip up the presentation papers if she didn't want you to be a lawyer.
Really? Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
You didn't do two voices.
Yes, you did.
The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching.
In that case, we'd better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again. And then maybe get done before midnight. April, 5:41 p.m. Local prison, cell 13. Ah, Gina, good. You're back. Ah!
The police must have finished questioning her then.
How was it, Ginny? Was it awful?
Oh, didn't bother me. Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate Windybanks. Oh, right.
Don't you want to know how we got on? I've been ever so busy.
Including that 15 minutes we were just running around in circles. What's the point in asking? Won't change what everyone's saying. The idea.
That's not.
Gina, we came to ask for your final decision. Eh? What decision? About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you or not?
I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like Mr. Naruhodo to represent you.
Right, I see. She's really lost her fight all of a sudden. But I know what that feels like. The worry is just so hard to bear. Oh, alright then. Blimey, give it a rest with your eyes, Iris. So come on then, fill us in. Who done it? Unfortunately, we don't know that yet. You don't say?
We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime.
And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is, there are a number of interesting facts that we have managed to establish. Oh yeah? Like what? Well, for example, the reason for you being there in the first place. I think I know why you broke into Windybanks that night. Looks like I'm gonna have to take some evidence that clearly reveals the reason and thrust it in Gina's face. Or I can present it to her calmly, I suppose. Found this in Mr. Windybank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris' latest story. Ah! Oh, right. Well, that's good then. Curiously, the storeroom at Windybanks showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like, With one exception. The box file that housed his manuscripts. It was you, wasn't it? You broke open the box containing this manuscript last night. Nah! You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it? Nah! Why don't you tell us what happened? Please. After we do this.
We already have the representations and other documents we need.
All we have to do is hand them into the court clerk. That is, if you'll allow me to represent you in court tomorrow. Nah, don't bother.
Jenny,
Rip them up and chuck them, would you? Then representation papers or whatever they're called. This cell ain't fancy enough to have a bin. So, what will you do in court tomorrow? I'll be fine on my own.
I don't think you will be.
Look, it don't matter. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. This is one stubborn pickpocket. Alright, yeah. This Baskerville story, it's the latest Sholmes adventure, right? But it ain't been printed yet. So I figured, it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right?
oh yes, at least £5,000.
What?
So, you attempted to sell Iris's manuscript, did you?
No. Gina, how could you?
What? Wait. No, hang on. Of course I weren't gonna sell it. All I wanted to do was find out if the manuscript, or whatever you call it, really was there or not. That's the only reason I was in the first place.
For Iris' sake, isn't that right? She's a Tsundere.
Ah. We knew why you'd done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did. But...
I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Ginny. I just knew it.
Well, when I saw the manuscript in the store, it reminded me of what you'd said the night before. Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, a lot of them. You just don't realise it yet. I'm telling you, that mantle strip ain't at Winniebank's. You'd soon see him if you'd had a look.
If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean, that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript elsewhere. Somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him.
Oh,
Jenny, that was so sweet of you.
Alright. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. It weren't because of Iris. That's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth. That's all.
he wanted to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest. If he had really deposited the manuscript at Winniebank's.
It's like I told you the night before. I never had a father. But Iris's lot ain't like mine. She's got her dad, only she can't see him. And I reckon that's got to be harder. That's why she writes the stories. They're about her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me anyway. Last night when I was listening to what you were saying.
Stories? About Daddy?
You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective? So much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner? Well, that's how I see it, yeah?
You're so thoughtful and kind, Ginny.
Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we?
Give it a rest, will you? I ate all this chummy nonsense, yeah? I ate it! I don't trust no one, right? That's how it works. Because if you don't trust me, no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarpa!
I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of that overcoat. There's some very suspicious red stains.
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
I think it might be worth presenting some of our other findings in that area to Gina now. Oh, did it wrong. Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet.
What?
We gotta rush through this.
Blood, Mr. Naruhodo?
You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So could it be blood that splattered from Mr. Windybank when he was shot last night?
Let's not beat around the bush here. This trusty friend of mine will get results much faster than anything else.
Eh? Take it easy, Iris.
No. Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot.
That's more dramatic than what it was before.
This is shooting a person.
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
Oh. Oh my!
What the? Forget the sleeves. The whole... Oh,
This whole coat is covered in blood.
Of course.
the black color of the fabric was masking the stains. That's why I haven't seen them until now.
And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple color. Which matches one of the samples we've already collected perfectly. Uh-oh.
Yes, now let's see. Who had the purple blood? Aha! It was a bookmaker, Mr. Mason, the victim of the murder case 2 months ago.
Why does she have blood from 2 months ago?
I guess we'll find out. I knew that.
What are you on about? The victim? What do you mean?
It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the Omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed.
I wish I could remember the situation a bit better.
Oi! Someone explain what's going on. Stop telling half a story.
We can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilder's overcoat.
But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony. Now I ask you, what good hearted sorrow when you rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I didn't want to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains couldn't have risen from Mr. Wiggled trying to pull the victim to his feet.
No, if that was really what had happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of the coat.
The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that it splattered over McGilder's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. I've tried to run from the truth for long enough. There's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer. Magnus McGilded!
Mr. Naruhodo.
That horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. Well, kind of. I used all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen?
Bruno, did you believe him though?
Did you believe Mr. McGoldrick was innocent?
I believed, or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to, because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon. Hey, Valide. I can't think of what, like, grape juice. What could be purple? Come on. We're trying to finish. Before we came to the Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson. She murdered Griffiths.
You mean Kazuma-sama?
Oh yeah, him. Listen, Ryunosuke. I can't remember.
Was it? I think it was me doing this, but then again.
We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure what is the truth and what is a lie. This is faulty memory, you know. I can't remember what he sounded like. It's been 8 months. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. This sword I'm wearing. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have. Unwavering belief? Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you. Unwaveringly. What's funny, Gina? Sounds like this, in this Empire of Japan you came from, everyone must be soft. Well, come on! Look at the mess it's got you into! Believing in that bog trotter! Yes, I inadvertently helped a murderer walk free. Are we pretending that he didn't walk free? He got out alive? Well, at least you've learnt your lesson now, eh? Believing in people's never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back in the end. As soon as you lay down your guard, you've had it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one, get hurt by no one.
Gina, may I ask you something?
What?
What hurt you, Gina? I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial?
How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away.
Are you really sure that's what you want?
I bet that's what he wants and all now. Mr. I'm a believer lawyer over there. Don't forget it was me in that trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can believe me in me after that? Not likely.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo?
The lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened. Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial. Eh? Are you half-baked? Not at all. You've not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth. Seriously, Mr. Narioto, didn't you hear all what I said before? I'm a born liar. Fibs just trip off me tongue. And I'm a driver. Don't forget, I pulled the wool over your ears 8 months ago, and I got you in all sorts of trouble. Why would you ever trust in me now? I just don't get it.
It's called love.
We must be close.
Gina. I do understand why you choose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you, there is more to this life than you yet realize.
What do you mean?
The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down.
Eh? It's true that I'm just a student of law, and I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience. But I can promise you this. Whatever happens, and until my very last breath, I'm completely on your side. What? What do you expect me to say to that?
Then it's decided. I will take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully.
Do what you like. You Eastern lot are, I don't know what you are. I don't get you. I thought she was about to say something racist. Saved. Gina's taken herself off to the back of her cell. She'd never admit it, but I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out alright in the end, I think. Are we there?
Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice.
Mrs. Zato?
Somebody's hiding there in the shadows. I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before.
What? Blimey, you're sharp, eh? I suppose you're using one of them mystic Japanese arts, like the art of stealth I heard so much about. If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector.
Crixie!
Oh dear me, I'm most terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you.
How long have you been listening in on our conversation?
Good grief, listening? No, no, no. I just got word there was some visitors who were refusing to leave even though it was after hours. I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived this very minute, not a moment earlier. That's all it is. Nothing untoward. Nothing at all.
After hours? Is that late already?
Yes, 10 minutes after. So then, I'll humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-ta, toodaloo, cheerio, all the best, bye, and bye, and bye.
That's a lot of farewells, and not one of them appropriately for her ladyship.
Oh, but I wanted to have a chat.
I'm terribly sorry, but time is pressing at the minute.
Oh, I see. That's a shame.
If I don't get this emergency at Supreme Court dealt with sharpest, strong heart will, well...
Emergency?
Lord, strong heart? Nothing! Forget what I said anything. Anyway, I'm off.
Alright, Crixie, if you have to. But let's chat soon.
Delighted. Charmed. Can't wait. If you please. My pleasure.
That's a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounded sincere.
Crixie's so funny. He said such silly things.
It's certainly entertaining to see Inspector of the Police fawning to a 10-year-old girl. But anyway, I wonder what this emergency is at the Supreme Court.
I must attend the court clerk's office now before it closes.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Mrs. Sato.
Kindly escort Iris home, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later.
And so our investigation came to an end. Suzato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Suzato-san would be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan. 16th April, 11:13 PM, Naruhodo's Legal Consultancy.
Naruhodo-san, it's been a very trying day, hasn't it? Do hope you're not too exhausted.
What about you, Suzato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Sholmes was shot before our eyes, Gina was arrested, all on the back of news that her father had fallen ill and that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon.
Thank you for your kind words. Wonder why it is. And so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm. And yet I seem unable to find the words to express any of them.
I know exactly what you mean.
Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow.
One final task. Oh no! Oh no!
I need to sleep.
I need to stop too, but we're so close.
It's just 2 months since we arrived in London. But we've managed to establish this office. It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I would be lying if I said I felt no regret.
I'm so sorry, Suzaru-san.
It was just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts.
I know we've only been here a short time, but in my limited experience at the courtroom, I feel I've learnt something.
And what would that be?
It seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities,
Facets?
and like a jewel, the light plays off of them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and their motives. We see only a small number of the total facets, and what is illuminated is only part of the whole story. Weird sentence. What lies in the shadows? What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay our eyes on for as long as we live.
That's so true.
Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much, but I keep hoping that one day it'll all become clear, that all the facets will be illuminated, and I'll finally understand how everything fits together.
Narahona-san.
I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open and keep moving forward, even if the way sometimes seems dark.
It's amazing to think it's just been 2 months. We've grown so much.
Sorry? What?
Oh no, it was nothing unimportant.
Do you know what time you'll leave London in the morning?
Yes, I just picked up my ticket earlier. Shall be leaving here at 4 a.m.
I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station.
Absolutely not.
Sorry?
I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow.
Gina's trial. Yeah, I'm sure I could drive there and back. Yes, I know, but
Every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep.
yeah, I think about the implications.
But please, for me, do try.
You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What did you mean?
Oh my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this.
What is that? Some huge bundle of documents?
It's my notes from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus.
The Gilded case.
Seems to me that this case of Mr. Windybank's murder, in which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with the omnibus case. In ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you.
With everything else she's had to think about, Suzaru-san still managed to do this. And all neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting.
It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina.
Thank you so much, Suzaru-san. I'll do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
Well, it's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure.
Sorry? I didn't quite catch what you said there.
Oh, ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself.
The gilded case notes have been added to the record.
Well, it's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. Must finish packing up my things in my room.
Zada-san,
I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night.
Wait! There's something I need to say. If you're watching this live over... What was that?
You got suplexed. Secret technique of mine. The Susato shutdown.
Shut down! She plays League of Legends, oh no!
Please, I implore you. If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears.
He's not getting back up. Suzato-san.
He's shut down.
It truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us and learning the truth about a nemesis of a case. His spine finally shut at the end. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted, and yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible. But I forced myself to close my eyes, and as a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind, eventually, my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep. April 17th, the small hours, St. Sinners Hospital, Ward 3. Oh my god.
Is
Yes.
it not over?
It might be just a little vignette. Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind. Rest assured, I shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed. Thank you so much. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell, and Godspeed. My dear madame. Oh, okay. Yes! Yes!
We made it.
Damn, if not for that, like, complete blunder, it would have been perfectly on time.
What blunder?
The suspicious 20 extra minutes this stage took.
That's fine.
No, wait, I didn't want to save. So, I don't know when I'll be able to do this again for a while.
Oh?
Like,
But
I don't know if I'll be able to stream for the next week. It's just because I don't want to be noisy.
Okay.
Tuesday next week, then on, it's probably fine. Actually, wait. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Tuesday.
Let me get back to you again as well.
Maybe I'll stream something else. I don't know. In the mid times. I don't know. I'll think of something. But yeah, we made it, and maybe finally do this court case next week, and then finish part 1 of the greatest 80s Chronicles. It only took a year. Oh, hey, Vagabond. Sorry. Yeah, we're just finishing up now. If you're watching this live or via VOD, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, etc., etc., etc. All that's yada 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 yada. Just have a good time, you know. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.